maybe some of the weird things you're experiencing as you are awakening is actually you getting upgraded. Your body and your field is being upgraded, and you just might not be aware of what's going on. So I'm being called to share this experience with you to help you see, kind of how to ask questions during it, how to kind of figure out what's happening to you. And this one in particular, there are so many. Like, I have hundreds and hundreds of these types of experiences, but this one was really about an upgrade and a paradigm shift, which was surprising to me. So I thought I would read it, and some of it will resonate with you and say, oh my gosh, I've felt those things too. And to let you know, as your body's starting to do different things when we're increasing our consciousness on the planet, stuff will happen to your body. It is part of the process. Your consciousness is upgrading, and your physical body also has to upgrade and expand. So listen to this and let me know what you guys are experiencing, and if you have anything similar happening to you. So it says, there were lights flickering in front of my eyes, and when I opened them, it's 4:13 p.m. on May 9th, Saturday. I'm putting my mask on my eye mask back on. And I breathed out real slow, and then my face was paused with my lips puckered, and I wasn't breathing. And now there's a discomfort on the top of my head, like a hole is being drilled through my skull. And I heard, "We are working. All is well. Relax. All is well." So to protect myself, I said, I allow only what is in my absolute highest and best good, and the highest and best good of the planet now. I am in my white pyramid filled with white light now. My oversoul is here and now. My monad is here now. And I said, I still feel the circle on the top of my head like a hole. Oh, it really is kind of the very top center of my head, but it's like over half an inch from the center is what it feels like. I'm hearing surgical procedure necessary. And I said, is this mimic? No. There's a lot of noise in both ears. It's coming from within my head. I just put my fingers plugging my ears, and the noise is way louder when I do that. And then I heard a message. Beautiful one, we are with you. We love you. All is well. We are protecting you. We are keeping you safe. So I said, I choose no harm comes to my body and my field or the planet now. I choose that only what is in my absolute highest and best good is allowed at any time now. And I heard, we are with you. You are not alone. And then my eyeballs were vibrating, and I felt movement in my uterus. And then there was heat over my heart. And I said, I call upon Christ Jesus to join me now. I call upon my highest frequency guides and team to join me, surround me with their brightest light now. And there's a high pitch in my right ear. It tickles. The light's still flickering a little in front of me. I'm being told to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And then I looked, and it's been recording for 11 minutes, 11 seconds, 11:11. And so I asked them, please continue healing my spine and my back. And then a personal message came through to me about a project I was working on, and that was beautiful. And then my head turned real fast, and now my ear was touching my pillow on my right side, and I heard, we turned your head. And I said, who is working on my body? And they said, your team. Do not get discouraged. Discouragement is a lie. You are correct this morning. There's either the truth or a lie, the light or a lie, a light or lie. You cannot listen to both at the same time. You're either choosing light, truth, or you're choosing a lie. There is no in between. It's either light or it is not. And then I felt my eyes wobbling again. And then there was another message about the project I was working on. And then I heard, judge not. Well, I said, Christ Jesus is here with me right now. And I was declaring this as fact and as protection. And he said, judge not. And my head is still to my right side. And I heard, we are working on you. And so I said, I'm hearing the word paradigm shift. And then I heard, that is correct. So I said, I'm going to have to look up paradigm shift. My ears were tickling. And I said, I feel like I should sleep. And then I fell asleep for a few minutes. And I heard, it's okay if you fall asleep. So I said, I'm going to think about New Earth now. Yet I wasn't actually able to think about New Earth at all when I tried, because my mind was totally blank and I could not think anything. And then they moved my head back to the center, and I heard beautiful birds singing songs outside my window, and they said, that is for you to enjoy. And then my body was frozen again for a while. And then I said, I feel something down in my bladder. I keep hearing the words participation. The body is still frozen. There's still the buzzing in my head. I'm going to think about New Earth again, remembering it already happened. And then I paused. I was trying to think about New Earth again, remembering it already happened, but my mind was again totally blank and I couldn't think anything. But my mouth was open and my thinking process is not normal. My breathing is slow. There was another discomfort in my head. I feel stuff in my right ear, my throat, my uterus. And I said, it's like I got a doctor visit. And then there was a sudden gasp for air. And I said, my breathing has been slow. I've been frozen. My body is asleep except for my mouth, my face, my mouth. My ears are tickling. I'm going to try to think about New Earth again. Like I keep forgetting I was trying to do that. And then I heard, that is understandable. You are having multi-dimensional experiences right now. Allow. Trust. We are with you. You are safe. Of course we are with you. You are protected. We told you that. Trust. And I was still struggling to get air, and my body's not breathing much. And then after a while I said, oh, I was just released from that. Whatever that was, I was just released. And now my body's moving. It's like I'm back. Whatever was going on, and then I yawned. It lasted a while. I'm back, and I'm stretching. And I said, it's like when you're leaving the trance state and then you're back, or when you're leaving an activation and you're suddenly back. But it was not an activation. It was just stillness. Like they said, it was a multidimensional experience. My body needed to be still. Fascinating. Then I yawned again. And I said, I feel like whatever that was, it is complete. And I heard, you are correct. And then light language was coming out of my mouth. And so I said, as I do every time light language starts, I only allow what is in my absolute highest and best good. And more light language came out, but it was gentle and tender, but fast. And I said, my throat's a little tender, my ears feel a little tender. And I heard, relax. And then more light language came out. And I said, there's discomfort on the right side of my head now. And I said, okay, I still haven't thought about New Earth. And I remember I said I was going to do that a few times. They said, it's not time for that, because they were working. And now I'm hearing a low buzzing, like a machine. And now my head tickles. And then a new energy entered me, and it said, we are with you. It's all right. We come in peace, always. And then I asked if it was someone I've dealt with before, because it felt different. Not bad at all, it just was different. And they said, no. I said, is this mimic? No. So I declared, you are of the light. And they said, of course we are. We would not be allowed around you if we were not of the light. We wish you no harm. Your team is with you. Fear not. This was planned for this time in the journey. This is a higher level. So I said, is this mimic? No. We are preparing your vessel for interactions of many dimensions simultaneously in your sessions and outside your sessions. And they were talking about the QHHT and BQH sessions I'm doing. They said, we are assisting your expansion of your physical vessel. You will be able to do more and see more and understand more. Keep your vessel clear with more liquid, less density food, more stillness. And I said, I see a dot of white light. It's kind of wiggling slightly. It was super tiny, like a pinpoint. And then it went away, and my eyes are open with my mask on my eyes. I haven't been seeing anything at all. My eyes are different positions. Oh, my eyes are closing. And then they said, upgrade in progress. Then there was a whole bunch of deep breathing. 6 huge breaths in and out automatically. And I said, my body has been back to being kind of frozen in place. There's still a lot of noise in my head. My breathing is slow. And there was more deep breathing out. And they said, upgrade in progress. Expansion in progress. And then after a while, my head just jerked over to the left side real fast. And I said, now I'm released again. My body's stretching again, like I was on a long journey and now I'm back. I need to stretch it out. I'm going to go to the restroom. Yeah, it feels like I was just on a very long trip and I'm back. Ow. Oh, wow, that was an hour. Wow. So that's just an example of what happens on quite a regular basis. So if you're experiencing anything unusual, you're constantly getting upgrades that you don't know about. Very often they're happening in your sleep, but they can also happen while you are awake. And as we are increasing in our frequency, in our vibration, in our consciousness, as we're clearing more and more of the density, more of the negative thinking, more of the fear-based thinking, when you clear that out, your body becomes a clear vessel for the light to flood in. And so I just was called to share this morning with everyone to give you a little insight into being more comfortable allowing these upgrades to happen, and to let you know maybe the strange things you're experiencing, if you're being paralyzed, if you're being just all these different things that just happen out of nowhere. Do not fear it, but make sure that it is of the light and it is for your highest good and the highest good of the planet. And then allow the process to unfold. These things will be happening more and more and more to all people, and especially the ones who are open and receptive to allowing their consciousness to keep rising, to allowing their bodies to expand as the light vehicles that they are.